I love being right. It's probably my number one favorite thing to do in life. It's probably what I love most in life. And today I get to be right once again. Because Sydney Watson is a liar. Sydney Watson should have never filed this lawsuit because I'm going to dig to the bottom of it. I'm going to follow this thing until the very end. And I'm going to prove what I believe is true, which is that Sydney Watson should not have filed this lawsuit. She will not win. And, Elijah Shaffer didn't really do anything that bad to her. But as you can see on the screen right here, the Blaze accused of sex harassment biased by female ex-co-host or show host. In Sydney Watson's own words, she's a liar. And we're going to react to this video that she made herself, that she posted on her YouTube channel. It's called "The Me Too Movement Has Ruined Workplaces." I know it's kind of hard for you to see because of how the screen is looking. Actually, let me fix that for you really quick. So the Me Too movement has ruined workplaces, right? Let's watch this video and let's see how Sydney Watson feels about lawsuits in the workplace when it comes to women versus men. This is 4 years ago, by the way. It's probably closer to 5 at this point.
So when the Me Too movement came up last year, I remember reading through my newsfeed the day that it all happened and just thinking, well, here we fucking go.
That's exactly how I felt whenever I started reading her lawsuit, by the way, when I saw Tommy Loren pop up and that misogyny word pop up over and over again. I already knew what it was, dude. It's a cash grab. That's why she's suing the Blaze and not suing Elijah Shaffer, even though every single complaint that she has revolves around Elijah Shaffer. Because Sydney Watson knows that the Blaze has deeper pockets than Elijah Shaffer does. So it's just a cash grab, man.
So a couple weeks ago, Ariana Huffington, so the owner of Huffington Post, posted 3 times as many male managers are now uncomfortable mentoring women in the wake of the Me Too movement. This is a huge step in the wrong direction. We need more men to #mentor her. The more important thing in this to me is mentor her. Really? Again, we are hijacking social issues to make them about women. Now, it really comes as no surprise that the PC brigade hasn't really caught up to the idea yet that women in the work.
It's so funny to me how people used to watch these videos and be like, yeah, based woman on the right. She's owning the libs. I love this woman. And then she grifted that so hard for so long. This is why you people, and also me too. And, I had a problem with this before. Now my eyes are kind of open that most of these people are frauds. But you guys need to stop hitching your wagons to people who aren't vetted properly. We have to vet these people for years and years before you hitch your wagon to them. You can support them, you can like them, but never follow them blindly to the point where once they file a lawsuit that doesn't follow what they've said in the past, that it's directly contradicting things like this video right here, you're still defending her. Even though Sydney Watson, she's not going to win this, dude. And you're still defending her. You're still coming at me for what I'm saying, for my opinions. That's what you need to stop doing. Stop hitching your wagon to people like that. Because she's wrong. Deep down, she's wrong. And she's contradicting herself directly in this video.
Workplace are a liability. Now, it's probably not very fair. People probably get very upset about it. But the reality is, it's actually the truth of the matter. Further, I am completely unsurprised that men are uncomfortable to be around women in the workplace. That's not surprising.
Yeah, and you're contributing to that.
In any capacity. Why? Well, the first thing is that these movements, the Me Too movement, this push for a gynocentric workplace has really just created a framework that's basically impossible for people to work within. I mean, the main thing that I can see is that it's allowed victimhood and anxiety and stress to overtake normal social interaction, in addition to oversensitivity. But that's nothing new with the feminists.
It's crazy to me how I literally said, whenever she signed with the Blaze back then, she was pretty, she was younger. Now she's getting up there in age. She's 29. She's hitting the wall or nearing it at least. She probably has hit it already. It's usually around 27 to 31 where, women start to go downhill with their looks. And then she's going to completely do a 180 on her beliefs because she doesn't care about being based anymore. These people aren't seeing her takes on Twitter and on YouTube saying, oh, cute woman being based on the right. She's owning the libs. Let me give her all my money. People aren't doing that as much anymore because she's hitting the wall. She's going downhill a bit and she's getting in front of it by filing a lawsuit and completely doing a 180 on her beliefs because this never was about fighting a culture war. This never was about being on the right side of history. It was a grift. It was money grab. That's it. And she's not doing anything different. She is being right now who she always has been. She's being a money grabber. She's being a grifter. That's it.
Yes, men and women work side by side, which is basically inevitable in a society where there are 2 genders, specifically 2, not more than that. Just two.
So based.
The bigger issue is that these non-sexual harassment frameworks stretch so far and cover so many areas and are so ambiguous that it's hard to
You don't say that sexual harassment is so ambiguous. Kind of like accusing Elijah Shaffer of sex harassment because, I have to say SA from now on, but accusing Elijah Shaffer of SA because he likes how big he is around you. He likes the physical presence that he has because of his size. Is that kind of ambiguous?
to know when someone's going to get offended, someone's going to feel a particular way, and they're going to do something about it, whether or not they're actually in the right to do that. So I jumped on the Human Rights Commission website and went to the area that details what sexual harassment is in Australia.
Okay, let's see.
And there's a handful of them that I can reconcile. I can understand why it's on the list. But then there's a handful of them that I really don't understand. Staring or leering, intrusive questions or statements about your private life, and displaying posters, magazines, and screens.
Notice how the ones that she's calling out as questionable are exactly what she's accusing Elijah Shaffer of. Intrusive questions or statements about your private life. She's accusing Elijah Shaffer of being misogynistic and bringing on misogynistic guests. None of these are on this list, and she's not questioning them. All of them are questionable. Like, all of the statements, all of the accusations that she's made at Elijah Shaffer are all I feel like statements. I feel like Elijah Shaffer made me feel this way. Or I feel like Elijah Shaffer thought this about me. None of them are Elijah Shaffer did this to me and here's the evidence of it. None of them are that. All of them are ambiguous, just like she's complaining about here.
Screensavers of a sexual nature.
I'm going to actually speed it up a
These
bit.
terms are really ambiguous. How long does someone have to stare at someone else for that to be considered sexual harassment? Is it 4 seconds and then a woman gets offended and she can suddenly do something about it? Statements about your personal life? Like what? He asked me about my childhood. I think the reality is that it just sets up a workplace scenario where nobody wins. Having to consider every single social interaction you have with another person for fear of them misconstruing your actions. I don't think that's social progress. I think that's social regression. I think there's a massive difference between protecting women in the workplace and then also making them into social pariahs. This constant and ongoing push for not only equality, but also for protection, particularly for females, it doesn't really help social interaction between men and women. What it does is make the whole thing a pretty oversensitive affair.
No, she's completely right. And she's contributing to the downfall of it. She's contributing to the bad side of it. We're seeing what's happening with the gym stuff recently, where women are just recording men to catch them looking at them, to catch them glancing at them, and then posting them on social media and making fun of them for glancing at them. It's getting worse and worse over time, and lawsuits like the one that Sydney Watson just filed against the Blaze and Elijah Shaffer, that's contributing to the problem.
It erodes respect, it creates a culture of hesitancy, and it also puts a lot of emphasis on social interaction where there was none there before. It makes it virtually impossible to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody of the opposite sex without fearing that it's going to come back and be something to do with sexual harassment. I just felt so harassed. He asked me to dinner and I said no, but he full insisted. No, he's your boss, and it's the annual sales meeting and the only food that's going to be there are sandwiches. Oh.
That's literally what she's accusing Elijah Shaffer of. Not asking her to dinner, but just saying things. She's accusing him of SA for saying things and jokes.
Wow, he stared at me for way too long anyway. I think that all of this runs entirely contrary to this whole I am woman, hear me roar thing that's been adopted by the feminist movement, which is kind of not surprising in any capacity because most of third wave feminism is built upon victimhood. I find it really sad that in a lot of ways women are a liability in the workplace. Men lose their jobs regularly because of false allegations or unproven allegations or things that simply don't have any.
Oh my god, dude. This video is just glorious. She's just calling out everything that I've been saying. She's so based. Actually, I think I might give her some money because she's so based and so cute.
Evidence to back them up.
Hopefully I don't get accused of SA for that. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
Basically said is that we don't care about due process. We don't care about innocent till proven guilty because every single person that's accused of this stuff is stamped guilty and thrown away. And that's basically how we deal with these situations. Really, you just get fired. The worst part.
Yeah, kind of like this, right? Kind of like this one right here. Yeah, you just get fired. Exactly. That's exactly what happens.
Is that often when these allegations turn out to be false, there's no repercussions. No women lose their jobs over it. Oh, we just ruin the man's life, but that's absolutely fine, just as long as the woman wasn't really sexually assaulted. So I guess the reality is that when you create a society and a workplace that encourages victimhood, you just have people looking for reasons to be a victim.
It's unreal to me that that video exists. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think it pretty much proves my point. I love being right, like I said, and stuff like that is just absolutely glorious. So shout out to Carl Berry on Twitter who tagged me in that. He also tagged me in some other things that I've been making videos on today. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that. And I hope you guys like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you on the next video.